Hello, Larib, is that how you pronounce your name? You're the first one here. I thought we'd have a short 30 minutes chat before I call it a night for live streaming. And we'll see how many people show up, because probably it is a bit late for North America, as if everybody's working tomorrow, they probably are preparing to call it a night. But for Europe, it will probably be very early in the morning. Probably be 6 o'clock. So we might not have people up and about already there. And only leaves Middle East, India, Australia, and Hong Kong usually, which would probably be something around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock in Australia and Hong Kong, somewhere around there, within a couple of hours difference. India would be about 10:30 in the morning, and about 9 o'clock in the Middle East. So let's see if we get more than a few people. There is Sundar. Hello, Sundar. I find this is probably the best vehicle to help people as much as one can. I think, as I mentioned, I think we went offline. I think this would be the best vehicle to help as many people as one can in the most effective way. So we'll try. 12:12, and you're typing this comment. Okay, so that means I wasn't wrong. That might be an okay for India, but you know, everybody's at work right now in India, so I hope that we'll have a few people at least joining us. Otherwise, we'll just have a short kind of a private session for the three of us. The good news is that regardless of how many times it actually went offline today, or it was red instead of green, indicating the best streaming health, the recording actually was perfect. The recording was perfect with no lags or anything, so we hope we will see the same. And at least if I see red or orange colors for the quality of live stream, I wouldn't be too concerned, because once it's uploaded, it'll be fine. So Sundar, or Laraib, is that how you pronounce your Laraib or Laraib, or how? I guess you can't tell me how you pronounce it. So if you guys have a question, you can throw in. That would be fine. Let's see who else is here. Oh, we have. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the three of us here. Looks like, as I thought, it's not the right time for our finding the most of our subscribers. However, okay, Sundar asks, what are your thoughts on the hookup culture that nowadays seems like a norm for everyone? Personally, I believe that you should have a connection with the person that you will be intimate with. Yes, that would be the right choice as far as I'm concerned as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, or however it is, when it is very challenging for the younger age to be able to adhere to that, because all they are focused on is their program and the hormone level, which is screaming for sex and intimacy, and that makes them feel fulfilled in their day, empowered, confident, and so on and so forth, which at that age young people try to get any possible such solutions in order to make themselves feel like they are worthy and that they're accomplished of some kind, because they haven't accomplished anything at that age. But having sex or having a girlfriend, it's an accomplishment on its own in their mind at that age. And of course, the intimacy and the program and the gene and all that makes that also palatable and hard to put aside. So, but it often, if not all the time, it never lasts, because again, there is no backing of the bonding through consciousness. It's all physical pleasure, and once that pleasure is fulfilled, but there is no connection, there is no compatibility, there is no unification or unity or similarity or harmony in consciousness level, or at least understanding how to see the differences and be okay with it, or work towards it together to compromise and come up with how we can make this work, knowing that their consciousnesses are different and that is a normal fact, and deal with the divisions and conflicts in that way. If they don't know how to do all that, then therefore it simply falls apart, because the intimacy is already now taken, is novelty is gone, and they're going to be looking for something else, thinking that it was the person rather than the way that they actually were connected, only physically and not on a consciousness level. So, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just the three of us. That tells me then this time, Vancouver time being 10:48 p.m., is probably the worst time I could ever conduct a live chat. Most inefficient. However, I had to try in order to figure out which are the favorite slots of time slots for that would work for everybody. Now, maybe I talked too soon, because Mila Johnson is here now, and and she says it's a good topic to. That is a good topic, Sundar. Sundar, and now more than ever. Yeah, okay. And El Haj Berry, how to become successful in a school. And Leibhan says, should I be friends with my ex who broke up with me while I still love her? Well, it's not up to you, is it? If she's already broke up with you, why do you think it's up to you to decide if you want to be friends with her or not? So, but my recommendation to you is that when your girlfriend breaks up with you, just have a little respect for yourself. Unless she requests or asks for friendship, which I'm sure she's not, if she's of any right mind, because why would she? She wants to pretend that nothing happened, that you guys were not together, and now you didn't break up, because it's still going to be a little bit challenging for both of you. If she broke up with you, that means like she's kind of wants to move on. Therefore, it'll be awkward for her. And for you, it'll be painful and uncomfortable because you still like her or love her. So a healthy choice would be to simply see it as it is. It was an acquaintance, it was a relationship, and it was good, and you learned things from it. She learned things from it. You guys experienced things. And the duration of that acquaintance or that relationship is over. And that was a experience, part of the experience of the journey of your life. And you had the chance to have that. And now you go on for preparing and learning and using the wisdom that you gained in this relationship for the next one, and be able to make tweaks that you think is necessary, or learn from it and choose better if that was not working because of the wrong choices and criterias. Either way, you should understand that I don't know why we went offline. I don't know if you... Either way, you should understand that the duration of that relationship is over, and therefore you should not want to force yourself on that relationship or a friendship of that sort just because we used to be boyfriend, girlfriend. Well, so what? Now it's gone. And the minute she finds another boyfriend, she's simply going to be pretty much diss you or ignore you in order to show the new boyfriend, or maybe the new boyfriend requests it or asks for it, anyhow, to show that she's like not chatting up somebody else or whatever it is that you guys know, depending on the culture. That's how it's going to be requested from one side or the other. So simply move on and find other friends and start other relationships, and by the time you're busy doing that, you will naturally forget about this one. But if you stay friend with her, it's like teasing yourself not to let yourself to forget, not to let yourself to go on, and not to let yourself to become more experienced by exploring and finding new and other more suitable and compatible opportunities. Now, so we go back to the one that I had before. That was El Hajj's. She says, I don't know, it's he or she, because I'm not sure the name. This does not tell me if it's a girl's name, boy's name, man, woman. There's no picture there, and when there is, it's not really that visible, so small. So she says, or he says, how to be successful in school. Just put the time in. Be with the present moment when you're in the class and the teacher teaches, meaning focus on what is happening at that very moment in front of your eyes, where you're sitting, where you are, the activities in the classroom, the discussions that is happening. Focus on that instead of being in your memory or worrying about something that might or might not happen in the future, or what happened before, which no longer exists. It's just a memory. Instead of going into your memory trying to fix things or modify things because it wasn't the way you wanted it to be, and then totally be away from the present moment where things are happening and the actual life is actually at that very present moment and not in the past or the future, then if you're there in that very moment, the present moment, then you will be more focused and you will absorb things. And when you're studying outside this classroom or school, in the library or at your home, again, focus on the meaning of what you're reading. Focus on the communication of the words with you and the meanings of it in detail or in general, which keeps you in the moment again and doesn't allow your, doesn't encourage your mind or facilitate your thoughts to go somewhere in the memory and try to roam around there, or again be in the future, which takes your focus away from what it is that you want to learn, because you're not there, your mind is not there, your focus is not there, and therefore how can you learn it, even though it looks like you're reading? So on that note, if you focus on and training yourself to be able to automatically always be in the moment, the now, the present, when things are happening, and when you can change things and modify things and so on and so forth, then you will have a better chance to learn. And when you learn, your performance goes higher, and therefore you will find the success that you feel you're looking for, if that is as far as learning is concerned. But if it's about grades, it doesn't matter if you learned or don't learn it. Sometimes grades can go haywire, but that doesn't really necessarily represents your level of knowledge or, you know, improvement in learning. It's just sometimes exams and tests, you know, people don't do good at it, but they actually are not bad in knowing the material. Now we go to the next one. Mila says, I agree, Mehran, but what if they seem desperate for your friendship? It was Labe who asked, should I be friends with my ex who broke up with me, right? But Mila is following on that question, right? Which says, I agree with you, Mehran, which means to walk away and go, but you're saying, what if they seem desperate for your friendship? Who would seem desperate? The girl who broke up with you, or with her. Again, I'm not sure if I'm talking to a girl or a boy, because I guess I can't tell from Mila. I think Mila could be, you know, boys or girls girl. I don't know what the culture and the customs are like, so I can't tell. However, it seems to me that you're saying, you know, it depends if the person who broke up with you is desperate for friendship. Why would she be desperate? Let's say it's, you know, why would she be desperate? She broke up. If she was desperate for the friendship, she would not break up. And now Mila continues and says, I am in a similar situation and I feel guilty for blocking contact in order to move forward. Why the guilt? Well, because usually, you know, nice people feel guilty about having done something that is to their advantage and not to somebody else's. And they feel guilty that they took care of themselves, or they actually focused on what they are looking for and not somebody else. Usually they're nice people, but feeling guilty doesn't mean that you should, you know, not do what you're doing. It just means that you're not that selfish to think that you don't need to feel sorry for somebody else who is not feeling as you do for moving forward, and he's still hung up on you. So that's good, you know, good feeling, good thing. There's nothing wrong with there, but you shouldn't, you know, because if the person is good and was decent and everything was good, and you still broke up because you just want to, you know, I don't know, try this or try that, well, okay, you should feel guilty, because but if it wasn't really what you thought it's working for you, and you know, you just thought it had its duration and there's nothing else you can learn there, or you didn't know what to do with it, whatever the reason was, other than the fact that you just wanted to have a fling with somebody else and you dumped the guy, then, or vice versa, then I guess, you know, that should be okay. None of these relationships at school or at younger age is necessarily supposed to be lasting forever. They are, again, start with the hope of that it will be a long-lasting thing, but then along the way you find that, oh, well, you know, it doesn't seem like we're compatible as much as we thought we are, because mostly our interest was based on small things, little things, but then later on found that there's a lot more things that we may not actually enjoy the same way that, you know, the other one enjoys, and then you thought, well, maybe it's just not going to be as palatable and interesting as it seemed that it would be, and then you decide to go somewhere, you know, go forward with your own other plans. Lareb, again, please, guys, let me know if you're a young man or young girl, a boy or a girl, man or woman, so at least I know how to, you know, put the sentences together so it would, you know, pertain your case, and, you know, it would be easier that way. So Lib says, thank you so much, Mary. You're welcome. El Haj says, I'm a guy. Okay, thank you. God bless you. So, no, from U.S., Minnesota. Okay, there we go. It's good if you would have also told me your age. Then I would be having a good picture of who I'm actually talking to. But that's good enough. I appreciate that. So El Haj he says, I'm a guy from the US, Minnesota. Thanks for the information in how to become successful in school. Yes, you're welcome. And you might want to take advantage from knowledge of how to make your focus strong. Because this business of focus that I talked, it's simple to say it, but sometimes is rather seems to be difficult to focus. Although I just told you a hack on it, which is staying with the flow of what is happening at that moment, which keeps you focused on what is happening, and that will work. But it is also very helpful to strengthen the ability to focus by learning how to meditate, which learning how to meditate is exclusively and in detail explained thoroughly in my book called Me, My Psyche, and I. again, if you go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and there you will find my books. If you click on the book, Me, My Psyche, and I, it will open for you, and you can read a chapter, or you can look at the table of contents, and you will see, I think it's chapter 43 or something. I'm not sure. There's 60 or some odd chapters. One of them says meditation, and why is it good for us? Why is it good or not? And then there's another one that says how to meditate, which thoroughly has explained the whole steps of it to do. And so that is something that you can try. And of course, I suggest to you, for making it more comfortable financially, don't buy the printed ones. Printed ones are heavy. They're like 360 pages, and the other one is 200, and one of them 600 pages. So they're heavy, and their price is hefty. It's like $100, which I recommend you go for the ebook, because I've turned the same books into ebooks, so anybody with any currency can afford it, and it can be simply downloaded in a second. And that would be same book in ebook is only $5.99. So therefore, there you go. You have your answer. You can focus to learn how to meditate, and not even it gives you more energy, makes you more compatible and transparent and one with the energy of the nature. At the same time, brings lots of more vigor and energy to you because of the way it's explained to you. You will learn it more. I don't want to go on now because I'll go for 2 hours just on that topic. And also then it helps your mind to learn how to focus, and becomes under your command, like a horse that is saddled, and you can jump on it and go where you want to go, rather than run around, try to gather the horse because a pasture and it's just feeding itself, and you got to run around, try to catch it, and then bring it, saddle up, and then go. That's like trying to bring your mind and thoughts away from all over the world that it is, because mind is all over the places. So thoughts are all over the places, so you got to try to focus them back into your head, sort of bring it here, accumulate it here, focus it on the subject that you want to focus. All that takes two place, but when you too much time to take. But if you have the horse saddled already, then anytime you want to jump on it and go. That means if you know how to focus, and your focusing abilities, techniques are great, then immediately when you want to focus, you will be focused, rather than, I got to now bring my segregated thoughts from this and that and bring it over here and put it on this subject. And that itself is time consuming. But if you know how to do it, you don't have to go look for your thoughts where they are, bring them here, and then focusing on something. They're just at your command, click of the hand, you're right there, and you're focusing on your studies. Now, Larib is, my ex is in a relationship with a married guy. Your ex is in a relationship with a married guy. That's very stupid in a way, but hey, I guess we don't know the whole story, but however, usually it leads to disaster. Guy who is divorcing his wife now. Well, yeah, we'll see it we'll believe it when we see it, because everybody says, oh yeah, divorcing, but may never happen. I would suggest that they should wait until he's really got the papers in his hand, and then they start a new relationship. Otherwise, who knows? I don't know, maybe it's true, but she should look into it. It really bothers me. I tried convincing her it's a bad idea, but she doesn't understand. Doesn't matter if she does not. It's your ex. Don't start being her father. She's on her own. She made a decision. She had her chance to be with you. She went with some idiot who is married already, and I call that because that's a bad decision. She should at least wait for many reasons. One is that maybe he'll never divorce. 2 is that maybe the divorce takes a long time. 3, maybe he changes his mind. 4, maybe they reconcile. 5, she's interfering with somebody else's life, because if she wasn't the distraction or wasn't there to give him this empowerment, maybe he would try to see it correctly and get back to his wife and work things out. So all these reasons I recommend against, being with a married person, while things are not as clear as it should be. I'm sure everybody or many people may have made that mistake, or somehow they got involved with someone who was married, but in generally, is not the best idea. Maybe it sounds like all kind of justifications with it from both sides, and they end up justifying it or thinking that it's okay and it's right, you know, they conclude for themselves. But in hindsight, is not as good an idea. It's not a good idea at all, but it's not the best idea would be wait till everything is cleared and then you go on. In your thoughts, in your mind, morally, legally, it will all be clear, and that would be a good start, a better start than a questionable start. El Hajj is 22. See, this helps me a lot to know what age you guys are, so I know what angles and what things are important to you. At least I can tailor the discussion or the answer toward what would work best to deliver my points to you, and the examples and descriptions and the discussion type. Mila says, thanks Mehran, I think you're right. Thanks for the insight. My pleasure. And El Hajj, thanks, I will buy the book. Okay, good. Now, I guess it looks like there is no one else but Mila, Larib, El Hajj, Sundar, and that's it. And I think we have all. There's Marvi Music. It's a new edition. It says, hi Mehran, just wanted to take time to say thank you for providing so much advice and value, which has helped me through early dark times. Forever grateful. Well, great. I'm delighted that you found the videos helpful and you benefited from it. And now that you don't have the problem that you did or the turmoil that you were going through, I think it would be very wise to go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and take a look at the table of contents of the book called Me, My Psyche, and I. And look at the table of contents, what things are covered there, and then click on the book. The book will open. Each book has a little video right beside it, which I will be explaining in about 2 minutes what the general idea of the book is. Then you can click on the book and see the table of contents, and then click on the book. It'll open. There's a sample chapter there. I don't know which chapter, what chapter for each book, and then you can read the chapter and see if you like it, and go take advantage of the very low prices of the ebook version, which is like price of a couple of cups of tea or coffee, $4.99, $5.99, and $6.99, something like that. But the Me, My Psyche, and I is only $5.99, and I'm sure you guys realize that there is no economic agenda here, because $5.99, when you know PayPal takes their charges and marketing costs of the site and everything else gone, there is no economic agenda here. But I want you guys, I want to pump it so you guys will realize it's something for you to have and read them whenever you feel like it, you're in the mood. It's not a book, that storybook to read it all at once. Whenever you want, at a certain kind of a topic, a certain kind of a chapter, you read it and you work on it and understand your own psyche better and help yourself to resolve things and analyze things and see things the way they are rather than perceiving things. And that will be a good help for you, coming from inside you, coming from you, not having to rely on outside help or outside analyzation, because you will know yourself better than anybody else, and for that you need to know how your psyche works. And Me, My Psyche, and I will and can help with that. Now, Mila says, are your books on Amazon? Yes, the ebooks are all on Amazon. Amazon, I think, sells each one of them $19.99, $26.99, and $34.99. But on my own site is $4.99, $5.99, and $6.99. So I would think there's a good reason to go to my site, because that's, I think, is the best deal for anybody, and it's just dirt cheap. Because again, my intention for these ebooks is so everybody with any kind of currency can afford it, from Indian rupee to, I don't know, Hong Kong dollar, Australian dollar, euro, whatever it is not going to be damaging you that bad. And Mila says, okay, Amazon, that we, and Chula says, you helped me a lot, thank you so much. You're welcome, Chula. I wish I can hug you. Okay, we hug from the distance. Chula, you will be fine. Follow there's over 700 videos on the channel. So almost every scenario that you can think of, something about it could be there to help you. Go through the playlists. There are about 50, 60 some odd playlists there. Each playlist has maybe, I don't know, from 4 to I don't know 100 videos in there, and on that subject, or you can simply look at the videos separately, individually, and see how many kind of videos are there and choose them, and it will help you to get you out of where you're stuck and get you up and about and moving forward. So is it time for us that we can say good night? Because I only wanted to spend 20 minutes, half an hour with you guys, just something, if somebody's up, and it would alleviate some of their concerns before it's tomorrow instead of being it tomorrow. So it looks like we have answered everybody's question, and it's been 31 minutes and 40 seconds. So I think if everybody agrees, we don't have anybody else here and there's no more questions. So I bid you guys good night. Wish you all a wonderful day tomorrow. Be good to yourself, to the others, and I look forward to talk to you next time. I plan to have more of these short live talk streams, so it can be a continuous something you can look forward to, or if you have a question, you can come on, ask, and then go about your business, rather than waiting for it for a whole week until we get to Facebook or YouTube and have a live streaming. So I hope you guys liked the time that we shared together here, and I certainly enjoyed it, and I look forward to talk to you again soon. Good night, guys.